We're going to do well, and I think. Look, I appreciate being the underdog. I like how people have tried to say, "Oh, what?" So I do better in those situations, and I think I have a record of doing well as the underdog. But we're going to do well.
We feel it. We know that this is moving in the right direction, and to me, the only numbers that matter are the ones that we're going up and everybody else went down. That shows that we're doing the right thing. I think Iowans will decide intensity tomorrow.
You're going to be first in the nation. So brave the weather and go out and save America, because that's what you're doing.
3 candidates, 3 closing messages in the waning hours of caucus eve in Iowa. Lots of spinning, too, of what's all going to happen. Ron DeSantis appears to be embracing the underdog narrative after saying he was going to win for many, many months. Because how else can he spin it when polls have him firmly in 3rd place there at this point? As for Nikki Haley, her closing statement is all about momentum. She's got the mo. Presented with concerns about a lack of enthusiasm among her supporters, Haley suggested tonight will prove she's the clear alternative to Donald Trump. As for the disgraced ex-president himself, you heard his closing message, the weirdest and creepiest and darkest of them all. Even if you vote, then die. It'll be worth it. And then there's Trump's most targeted messaging. He's done it before, vague accusations and implied threats. Listen to what he said about Nikki Haley this weekend.
I'm working for you, and she's working for a lot of other people that don't necessarily love our country so much. You're going to find out a lot about her in the next short period of time, but she's starting to fade as people find out.
Very mobby and mysterious there. We're back with David Plouffe, Michael Steele, Amy Walter, and Claire McCaskill. So, Claire, I know Trump says a lot of crazy things every day, but I do think we have to start with what he just said there, which is, I mean, you could say it's sort of a little threatening, but it's basically, to me, I hear it as, I'm going to come get you, Nikki, if you come close to me. But how did you hear it?
Well, the irony of this guy saying, you know, she's supported by people who don't love America, and he is besties with Putin and Kim Jong-un and Erdogan and all of the folks that are autocrats and freedom haters and despots and, frankly, murderous thugs. He's got a rogue of horrible people behind him, and even China. I mean, he wants to talk about Nikki Haley in China. He loves Xi, just loves it. So I really think that Haley's best argument is that she's a new face. People always like change. You know, we keep talking about a rematch. It's only happened about 7 or 8 times in our country that the same 2 candidates have run against each other again. Mm-hmm. But in this instance, they both have been president. And this is really, old faces, old folks. And Haley is going to try to be the next generation, the new face. And at the same time, she's making fun of DeSantis for being the mini-me of Trump. I mean, she's running an ad that's saying, you know, to DeSantis, who's your daddy, referring to Trump.
Yeah.
So she is really doing some interesting things that are negative in regards to Trump, more so than she ever has before. I mean, she may be getting serious about actually running against him.
I mean, watch out, world. And some of that, interestingly enough, is helping Biden in New Hampshire. But anyway, back to Trump. Amy, another thing that he likes to do, we've seen over the past several cycles, is kind of claim fraud when things get a little too close for comfort. I just want to play something he recently said and get your thoughts on it.
So important that you get out and vote. So important that you watch other communities, because we don't want this election stolen from us. We don't want this election stolen. I hear these horror shows, and we have to make sure that this election is not stolen from us and is not taken away from us. And everybody knows what I'm talking about.
The only way we're going to lose this election is if the election is rigged. Remember that. It's the only way we're going to lose this election.
Okay, so that was actually past times he's claimed fraud. But he did say, if he posted this morning, Nikki just said on Fox and Friends that she's up in the polls, but I'm beating her by 57 points. Not exactly, but what's up? I mean, there's lots of implications here, but one of them could be she's up to something. But how did you hear it? And do you think this is something like he could have up his sleeve if anyone gets too close to for comfort for him?
Yeah, you know, remember in 2016, he never claimed to have lost
Right.
Iowa. In fact, he argued that it was Ted Cruz that cheated. And but so this is sort of par for the course. But at the same time, the Trump campaign itself is running a pretty traditional campaign, I would say. For the folks sitting in on this panel, all of whom have been through campaigns, they know that if you're the front runner and you see somebody coming up close to you, of course you're going to unload everything, every piece of oppo you have on that candidate going forward to make sure they don't get much traction. And so, they've already started running ads up in New Hampshire, making that link. I think, as Claire McCaskill said, with China, trying to argue that she's part of that globalist insider elite class, that she's not going to look out for regular folks. So I think the advertising itself, I mean, this is always the challenge for the Trump campaign, which is the campaign itself is actually running a very smart, strategic playbook. The candidate himself does not ever stick to script. And so that's where, you could do all of the great groundwork. But at the end of the day, what people are going to remember is what the candidate actually said, not how the campaign actually performed and what their ideal message would have been.
Yes, it turns out. Sometimes people do remember their local organizer in Fort Dodge or something. That does have an impact. But we were just talking about this briefly during the break. I mean, Trump's campaign, to Amy's point, is better run by all accounts than last time. It's a little bit better organized. What kind of a factor do you think that is here?
Well, it makes a difference on the margins. I will say, by the way, if the Trump campaign is providing rides to caucus locations, given what he said over the weekend, I'm sure they're one-way rides. It's kind of the way he rolls.
Grandma Esther, you find your way back.
Yeah, there's no question about that. So it matters, and I think it'll matter more kind of post-New Hampshire. By the way, if Trump loses New Hampshire, there's no doubt his core message is going to be, it was stolen from me.
Yes.
Nikki's in league with the Democrats. Yeah. And so I think we have to prepare for that. I think what's interesting is DeSantis' closing message is terrible, as his whole campaign has been. Yeah. It's all about like polls and underdog. And
it's awkward.
Haley talking momentum, I guess, is okay. Still, that's processed. But she is starting to differentiate more. And that's where she has to get. Her speech tonight will be a big moment to say that. I think what she ought to say, to Claire's point, is the only way America doesn't have a Biden-Trump rematch is if I'm the Republican nominee.
Right.
Trump can't win. And so I think at the end of the day, that's what we have to watch, is how crisp that gets.
It's so, I mean, the other night in the debate, we didn't talk about this a ton that night, but she basically said, I wish I was on the stage with Trump because that's who I'm running against. I mean, she's been trying to kind of set it up, the race against her. So if you're in the Haley camp, Michael, if you were talking to them, what would you tell them they should be saying tonight?
Well, I think I would pivot off of what David just said and just make it very clear that not only do I have the momentum, but I'm the only person, and you all know it, that can beat Joe Biden. And this is sort of a double-edged sword for Democrats, because the reality of it is, yes, she will beat Joe Biden. If she becomes the Republican nominee, I don't see her losing a presidential race for a lot of reasons that Democrats don't like Joe Biden. All right. So this idea that, the age suddenly goes away when Nikki Haley is the nominee and not Trump. No. So she has a way to really do some nice cutting coming off of tonight to set herself up both for the remainder of this primary, but also beginning to position tactfully for the general election. And as David noted, there are some primaries down the road where Democrats and independents can play. So she can pivot off of New Hampshire, out of Iowa, and make a very nice case for a fall election that I think Democrats could eventually root.
Yeah, I mean, the electorate, though, is more like Iowa for a lot of these states than New Hampshire. I don't think it's that Democrats don't like Joe Biden, but what I will give you, and I'm surprised you didn't say this.
Well, they're the only one talking about his age.
No. Well, that's what I thought you were going to say, is that if Biden and Trump are running against each other, it's a little hard to make the argument, given they're 3 years apart. But Nikki Haley could run on a next-gen argument.
Right.
It's very hard to run for president, I'll just tell you, Michael.